What's up everyone? This is just going to be 15 3x3 example solves. Let's get started. Okay, so for the first scramble I would see this block here. Blue cross isn't that great. Yeah, it's like 6 moves and the finger tricks are kind of awkward. What I would see instead, because of this block, I would see this red F12 pair, and then when you look at the red cross, it's not great either, but at least we can preserve a pair, and I think the finger tricks are at least a little bit nicer. So the way I would start is I would solve the blue edge and then the yellow edge, which are, just gives you 2 cross pieces and 2 moves pretty quickly. So D, L. These two I would want to solve with F, R prime, F2. And the way I would finger trick it, it would be like an LF type thing. But because this pair is here, what I would want to do, so do like L, F, R prime, and then once I'm here, instead of doing an F2, I would do like an F prime, U2, U2 prime, F prime, and that sets up the pair so it's rotationless. There were some other ways I could set up that free pair as well, by doing like an extra turn, but it wouldn't be rotationless, and I just didn't like the finger tricks as much. So yeah, just insert this pair. As I'm doing that, I would see these two and those two there. Since I saw these two first, I would probably just keyhole the pair in by putting the corner in the back like that, and then D prime, and then I guess I would probably rotate here to do the pair, but I think what's smarter would be to rotate this way, so that my last pair is in the front right, and I can also kick this edge out. So make the pair like that, insert, and I can get all my edges quite easily just by doing sledge insert like that. And the reason I would do that is just because I don't like the F prime UF finger trick very much, so you can kind of avoid it like that. And then this ZBLL case, not the best case, but gets it done. Scramble number 2, this one is pretty slim pickings. There's only like a couple edges we can really work with. Looking at the blue cross, it isn't really all that great. Same for the orange cross. So then looking at these two colors, yellow, it's not that good. Red, I think, is the best for this scramble. First pair that I would see, I'm going to be working with this corner and this edge, so the blue-white. I also noticed that the green and white, they're going to end up here, I believe. And then I'm going to kick them out with the blue and white pair. So the way I would solve the cross edges is I would do the white and green edges first with like an L2, F prime, L prime, and then I would do the last few cross edges, so I'd do like a U prime R2 to get this opposite the green, remembering that this is my first pair and I can actually cancel into it. I forgot to mention that in the beginning, so D, R2, D, and then start cancelling into that, which kicks this pair out, so U2, L, and now I have a free pair there. I would solve that, rotate immediately into this, noting this corner here, and then oh, I actually have something cool I can do with this pair. So anyways, these two. And now with this last F12 pair, this is actually pretty fancy. So recently I've been trying to work on like some little multi-slotting tricks. This is like one kind of case where you've got like the corner solved and the edge is like the opposite one. There's 2 cases you can set up to. You can either set up to, let's grab a solved cube. So you can solve this pair and then either set up to R2U2, R2U2, R2. Or you can set up to what's a little bit better, is set up to R2U, R2U prime R2. Here I can set up to the latter, which is pretty nice, so I would actually just insert this edge here in 4 moves like that, as opposed to solving this whole F12 pair in a bunch of moves. And then I could rotate this way and just do that 5-move trigger. For some reason I know this one look last layer case as well. By the way, these example solves are not meant to be like super duper reflective of what I would do in real solves. Like the previous example, like there was some like small decision making in F12 that was probably a bit better than what I would actually do, but this is more to show as possible. But anyway, this one look last layer, instead of doing the standard OLLCP like that, I would notice these 2 opposite colors in these 2, so I know if I do it fat, I'll get a PLL skip. So that's kind of funny. Third scramble, we've got quite a few options. But the one that I like the most, because I noticed this solved edge, so I looked at both white and orange. White isn't really great. Orange is pretty nice, and the extra nice thing about it is we can get a free F12 pair out of the green white pieces. So what I notice is this and this you can set up with like a U prime L F prime. So we need to get this cross edge to the back here with a D so that's in correct relation with the yellow. And then after those moves, these two pieces will actually form a free pair. So, and then this cross edge here will take the free pair out, which is extra nice. So D, U prime, and I did not track that correctly. But you know what, that's okay. That happens sometimes. And this can still work out pretty well. So I'll just finish the cross with like R, D prime. And then I would solve this first pair by doing like a U prime, F prime setup to get a free pair like that. And then after that, I don't really see anything. I guess I would just see this pair here. And then I can solve this with RU to R prime setup, like so. This isn't particularly great. There's nothing really fancy I would be able to do here either. It's just kind of keyhole one pair and then the next pair should hopefully be okay. So I would keyhole the green and yellow, so like that. And then do ZBLS here. And just, I'll show that again a bit slower, so just put the corner in, U2, pair up, sledge. Soon, deburn. Scramble number 4, here I would do orange. Unlike the previous solve, I'm actually going to give a free pair this time because this is a lot easier to track and I'm actually paying attention so I don't look like an idiot again. So orange is a very easy cross. Edge here lined up with the opposite center, edge here lined up with the opposite center, can swing in one move. Same here. So F2R is the first two moves. You could also do it as like RF2, but if you do the F2 first, that gives you this free pair here. So F2R and then solve this cross edge here with a D prime R fat U prime instead of a D prime. And the reason for that, D prime R fat U prime, is so that I don't have to rotate for this first pair. As I'm doing that, I would see that this would set up to a free pair. I'd probably see this corner first, but because I know the edge isn't going to be in the U lay just based on the colors, I would then just see this pair. Okay, this is getting kind of silly. This is going to set up another free pair with these two. So set those up, put these in the back. And then this, and then for whatever reason, like this isn't even particularly useful information, honestly, but because these two corners are facing to the sides like so, I'm going to get a corner skip. Not like it might be a full CP skip. I'm pretty sure it won't be. Oh, actually it might be, but I wouldn't see that in the solve. I just know if it's like adjacent colors, there's like a chance of it. And yeah, in this case it does, so then I just get two flip. Alright, next solve. Alright, scramble number 5. This one, I see the solved edge here, but the white and green crosses are both pretty yucky. On the flip side, this blue cross is actually quite nice, and you can get a pretty easy X cross. And tracking the second pair is pretty easy as well. So what I would do, these two edges are opposites here. I can do like a fat R, U prime, fat R prime, which keeps this block in place and kicks this edge out, which was here previously. The second pair I'm tracking, by the way, is these two, the yellow and orange. So it would just be like a D prime, R prime, and then just move that edge in, and then that pair, you know, you can track pretty easily. Second pair, I would see these would be my next pair. It's not a particularly great case, but can make do. Actually, what I would probably do instead, because I don't think this pair is particularly hard to track either, I could actually just cancel into it. Setting up a free pair like that, put in the back, and then easy ZBLS. You could do that as the insert. I don't think that's particularly good for two-handed. I would probably just sledge it in. And then easy ZBLL, these two edges swap, these two corners swap. Done. Scramble number 6. You guessed it, white cross. It's not particularly great, but I did check the other sides, and you know, red's not that good. It would be okay if this edge wasn't like right here. Blue's not anything great either. Yeah, so white is by far the best option here. And because the cross is relatively easy, like you just do an F turn and then it's just R degen, so like all this stuff here gets preserved. It just makes tracking first pair really nice. First pair I would do would be these two. I would also track an inspection that this edge is going to end up here in correct orientation, and this corner will be into the U layer somewhere. So I know that after I do this first pair, I'll probably be able to do the second pair rotationless. Pardon me. Yeah, it may not be the best idea to do it rotationless, but I know I'll have that option at the very least. So F, And then again, this is my first pair, it'll be free, so R prime, D, U prime. I would do D prime instead. This is just kind of like, I don't know how to explain this. You could do like a fat U prime to save the rotation. I kind of like the idea of filling up the front left slot first, just based on like where this pair is going to end up. I don't know if there's really any method to that madness, but that's just how I would see it. And then this pair I can do rotationless, and I think I will from here. And I'm noticing this edge, but I'm pretty sure the corner's, yeah, it's stuck back there. Keep doing that. I'll show that again like a bit slower. So it's like R prime, U prime, R, and then you have that case. And I'd see this in the front, split them up, and then this will set up a free pair for the last one. I wouldn't necessarily see that ahead of time, but you can react to it on the fly. Like you just see that and you're like, oh, okay. OLL, PLL. Alright, Scramble number 7. This one's pretty interesting. This is, again, something I don't know how likely it is I would see this in inspection because it is pretty tricky. But I do see a white double X cross. So using this block here, so the orange and blue, there's the edge that I'm going to deal with. And then the red and green edge is solved as well, and this is the corner that I'm going to again deal with. So I would set up these two cross edges with D prime, R prime, and that puts... So the tricky thing is after the D prime, R prime, what I need to do, so I've got the two pieces in the U layer here that I want to make the XX cross with, but I need to solve these two cross edges without taking them out of the U layer. I was able to find a solution for it, so I basically do U prime to put this edge in here first, which flips this edge, unfortunately, but then when I put this one in the back, so like that, then the edge becomes oriented again. So I can then solve this F12 pair, these two here, so this corner going to here, this edge going to here. And then after that, I can do a fat U2 to get a double X cross. That's pretty tricky to see in inspection. The hard part isn't really like the pseudo aspect of it, like doing a pseudo block build into double X cross. The hard part was finding a way to solve the two cross edges that actually puts the pair in a nice position, because if the pair's not in a great position, then you're really just better off doing like a more, I guess, normal inspection. And it would be pretty easy just to inspect a normal X cross there, but because I had an extra piece to work with, I figure it's worth trying to find a better solution. This will be the first pair I see here, just these two. Rotate. I don't think I would do that, even though it technically can set up nicer VLS cases. I think it's better to just do what's more finger trick friendly. And then this isn't even a bad VLS case. Use the sledge, and then that, and then A-perm. Alright, scramble number 8. Hopefully I haven't lost track. Again, I would do white cross. I would see, so there's like these two edges here which you can kind of swing in with a R prime, FB prime. But what I would see on top of that is the first pair of orange and blue, so the corners here, the edges there. And then this cross edge is here in the back, which I'll deal with in a moment. So I could do like an F prime, R prime, so these two edges are in correct relation, and this edge gets put in a nice position in the process. And then make a free pair out of these two with a U prime L, like so. I could do UL as well, doesn't really make a difference. I would just choose this. D2, insert the pair with RU prime, R prime, and then rotate here to finish my cross, as I've done that. The green and red has shown itself to me, and this is nice because this edge will get kicked out as well. So I can split up the pair like that. Immediately go into... I think it's better to go into these two. If I saw this pair first, I would do it first, but I'm pretty sure I would see these first. Doesn't make a big difference anyway. And then last pair in the back. OL. PLL. Alright, scramble number 9. Once again, I would see a good white cross plus 1, mainly because of this pair here. These two cross edges I can do with D prime R, but that's not what I'm going to do to start with. I would see that this goes opposite to this one. I don't want to do an L2 either, because that moves this pair out of the way. So what I want to do instead is I'll do R prime FR to put this cross edge in, while not completely destroying the pair. It actually puts it in a good position. So R prime FR, it's still a free pair, it's just split. L2, D prime. I don't want to put this cross edge in yet, I want to do a U2, and more than likely just solve the pair first, and then I would do this with an R. If I was being extra smart, and I guess that's No, it's not even really that smart now that I think about it. I would probably just do R. Well, this is realistic what I'd do. I would do R, I would see this pair and do those first. I could have technically cancelled into that pair and gotten a free pair, but it doesn't even end up being more efficient, so no point really showing that. I'm sure you can figure that out anyway. This pair here, I guess, okay, so here's the like smart thing I would try to do here if I was really like paying attention. Instead of just solving this pair like normal, I notice I have a dot. I could insert with a sledge to influence some edges, but what I could do instead is actually just do full ZBLS from here. So for the dot case, you just kind of do that to put the edge in, U2, and then do that. And the reason that's kind of nice is, well, for your last pair, I feel like it just gives you more like OLS options. Like in this case, I could have hypothetically gotten a CLS. I didn't this time. But when I make the pair, I know I'm going to get it back soon. Just based on like winter variation recognition, and then yellow. Scramble number 10, this one, the inspection isn't particularly interesting, it's just a 5-move X cross on green. So this block you can make with like R'F. This cross edge is solved, but we're going to move it around temporarily after we put this one in next to it, so it'd be L', D', which moves the piece we want to exactly where we want it, just, you know, by chance, pure luck, R'F, to get that in, and then a D. Though I wouldn't do a D because what I inspected, but didn't point out, but I promise I did inspect it. These two, I would want to do a wide U. You would think typically that would be bad for look ahead since it puts your solved pair in the front right, which is, you know, this is your like big blind spot. These two pairs are like half blind spots, and then this is not a blind spot at all, so you don't really want to fill it too early on. But because I planned this pair, and I know this avoids a rotation, this is... I feel like it works out well, so I would solve that pair like so. I wouldn't see anything, so I would just rotate kind of aimlessly. Unfortunately, both these pairs kind of suck. You got like these two here and these two here. So I guess I'd just make a pair out of these two like this. Insert in the back like that. Get this pair, get a VLS. And G-Prime. Scramble number 11, this one, again, not particularly interesting in terms of inspection. I'll do yellow. I noticed this pair here, it's pretty easy to preserve. I'll actually point out my second pair this time instead of just glossing over it. I would notice that these two pieces, so they're going to end up about here. I don't know exactly what case will be, but I know both pieces will be in the U layer after my cross +1, and that's really all I need. I'm also pretty sure I'll need to rotate, but that's not a biggie. So anyway, the cross is very straightforward. Blue edge, green edge, L', R', sets up, orange edge, red edge, FB', makes the cross, do a D'. Still have a free pair, it's just split up now. I'll be tracking those two because that was the second pair. RU, R', U2, insert. Next two pairs are a bit sucky, but that's okay. I would probably see this pair first realistically. It would be better to just rotate and do these somehow, either like that or another way, but I would probably just see these two. I guess I would sledge here to get some edges, and then I could finish this pair off with ZBLS / winter variation, and then U-perm. Alright, scramble number 12. This one's pretty interesting. I actually see a really nice X cross that sets up a free pair on red. So we've got this block here, this edge is solved, and all the cross edges are oriented from the right position at least. So how I would deal with this, and also my next pair, I can make this into a free pair quite nicely. So the way I would start is I wouldn't want to put this in first because then that just, the blue edge will just kind of cock block me, so it's not great. If I do an R2' as well and put this edge in first, it sets these two up really nicely to make a free pair. So I could do like an R2' F, and with all of this, it's easy to track this cross edge, so... And then U, R2 is how I would want to, you know, build that, but because I'm making another pair out of these two, I would instead do U, R, and then finish the X cross with D', R, D'. Now I have a free pair here, like that. This I can set up to a free pair by doing sledge, insert in the back, ZBLS, so instead of pairing up like that, I'll do M', finish like that. ZBL, yeah, ZBLL case. Okay, I'm gonna get this right. That's not okay. God damn it. This is why I need to stop using PyZBLL, and, well, particularly for this COLL subset, this one and the other one, my recognition is just garbage. I think this one I want to do... God damn, why am I blanking on this? Whatever. Let's do it on camera. I think it's... Yeah, there we go. Nice. Alright, for this scramble, I would do orange. I see an X cross, and I think it sets up a free pair afterward, which is kind of nice. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it does. So cross edge here, this one here, I'll do an R prime, which sets up this one, but I want to set this one up at the same time, which also coincidentally solves this edge. So U prime, I'll be holding it from this angle, but B prime, and then these two cross edges with RL prime. Puts that in there, and then, okay, so I wasn't quite correct. I thought this was going to set up to a free pair when I inserted this. And then keyhole style X cross, but this is still a decent case, and I can see my third pair here anyway. So do these two, third pair. Okay, so like for this, I'll set this up again. Because I could kind of look ahead and see this edge was going to be flipped in the front right slot, sometimes what I might do is finish with an R prime F prime R instead to set up a better case. Here I don't think it's actually even better to do that, and now that I think about it, it's not even a great approach period because you still have to rotate for the F12 case. It's just... the F12 case doesn't even become more efficient, you're just adding like 2 extra moves for... No, 3 extra moves. 2? 3. You're adding moves and you're not really saving efficiency, so I'm going to stop doing that. This pair, get your edges. PyZBL, but because it's vertical bars, I can actually recognize it properly and not fumble on camera. Nice. Alright, second last one. Here I would do orange because of the free pair. It ends up being an 8-move cross, but since it preserves a free pair and puts it in good position, I think it's alright. I would solve... These two, I was looking at these two for some reason, but it's these two that I solve first with like an FL, and that puts this pair back here. So it's like an FL, and then D prime R to get this incorrect relation, and then I can use like a 4-move RU wide trigger that will solve this cross edge and put this pair in a rotationalist position. So I'll probably hold it up like here, so it'd be like a D fat R to get that in, D prime R to get that in, and then here I can set this up to be a rotationalist free pair like so. U2, see next pair here, U, insert in the back. As I'm doing that I see these two, same case, and then ZBLS, so almost the same solution, and then ZBLL. Alright, last scramble. This one, there's a 4-move cross on red. So we have edge lined up, edge lined up, edge lined up, and then this one we can set up in 1 move to be in correct relation. First pair will be yellow and green. I can set up into a free pair by doing L prime UL. So the way it would look, I'd set these two up with fat R prime, then D prime to solve them, then FR2 to get these two in, and then first pair's over here. Free pair, I wouldn't... This is a case where like I see a better pair, but the thing is the pair I was going to do isn't going to change the fact that this is a free pair. So I may as well just do this pair first, rotate, and then do this pair here. Ooh, okay, this is interesting. So, similar case to before. Before I had like a solved corner and then an opposite edge. This time it's different, so we have the solved edge and the adjacent slash, opposite pair corner. What we can do... Oh, actually we can do something really cool here. So, I've showed this trick in my keyhole rabbit hole video, as well as talked about it on the newsletter in my keyhole email, which I sent out probably a month or so ago. Basically, when you have this case, what you can do is just insert the edge for the opposite slot, and then you set up to a commutator. I'll just grab another cube and show you what I mean by a commutator for those who don't know. So it'd be something like this. So these two edges are solved, and then we can just do a 3 cycle by, moving one corner there, doing a D setup and then undoing all those moves. So it's really, really efficient. It's also really easy to finger trick. Now, one thing that makes this case even better is there's a couple ways we can insert this edge that will, you know, keep this... Basically, we need to keep this corner so that the cross-color sticker isn't on top, so we don't want red on top. Thankfully, no matter how we insert this edge, it really doesn't make a difference. So we could do like R prime U2R, and then we're fine. We can do U, R prime UR, and we're fine. But the best way to do it here is actually do U prime, and then put it in, and then we can cancel into the commutator like that. Did I even do that right? So yeah, just to show you again, so it's like R prime U prime R, and then this commutator there, starting with R U prime R prime. So the whole thing would look like... So this would be like last two pairs. If I were smart enough to see this in a real solve, again, this isn't all necessarily reflective of what I see, but this is the kind of stuff I'm trying to at least implement on some scale. Obviously, I mess up with it a lot, but when it works out quite well. So I could potentially see this and be like, ooh, I know how to do this. Like that. And that's really fast for last two pairs. OLL, I don't know if I really want to... Yeah, I guess I would do OLL CP here. I found that I can do Sexy Sledge a lot faster than the OLL CP, and I suspect this is going to give me a Z-perm. And yeah, it does, so... I don't know, Z-perm versus V-perm. I think I can technically do V-perm a bit faster, but I also probably lock up a lot more on it. Yeah, when I filmed my like PLL video, what was it, a month or two ago, something like that, I executed all of them sub 0.9 stack mount. I think the V-perm was actually faster than my Z-perm, but that's just by the by. Anyways, that's it for these example solves. Coming up in a couple of days' time, I'm going to be releasing an email on the #1 mistake that 99.999 speedcubers make. This includes myself. It's probably my best email yet, if I'm being honest, or at least like one that has like the best actionable advice. I'm pretty excited about it, so if you want to sign up and not miss out on the email, link is in the description to sign up for my newsletter. You should also want to sign up anyway, because I have other emails that I send that are equally as good, but this one especially I'm really excited about. You also get a free ebook, you know, that's pretty cool. Teaches you how to get better at cubing. Not a big deal, you might not be into that, unless you're watching this channel, which you are. Yeah, no, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, hope you guys enjoyed the example solve. Scramble should be down in the description if I didn't edit them over the video. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.